Hi, this is for the board of the Farmers Weekly. William Nichols here, CEO of Multix. Apologies for the Jeremy Clarkson's shirt. Unfortunately, we're the same size. Very difficult to get anything other than what I've got. We wear the same gear. Here's the idea. Okay, Farmers Weekly branding on every piece of workwear going into the farm in the future, with the same kind of inspiration that John Deere have achieved over the years. So the idea is that each farmer is in charge of their own e-card on their clothing. They can either make changes and updates themselves, they can employ our VA services trained to do that for them for just £15 an hour. So they can make regular changes. So in other words, their workwear changes with the seasons or whatever they want to push into the marketplace. So each of the QR frames that we've created, we call them generic QR frames, but actually they're branded. They're branded to Farmers Weekly, and the idea is that each e-card not only displays information for the farmer, say, could be anybody loosely related with agriculture or horticulture, but the important thing is that there's also a link in there that takes you through to pertinent stuff inside the Farmers Weekly every week. So we could change it daily, we could change it weekly, again with Larry's services. So the thinking behind this, here's the logic. This is a QR frame. We can connect to an e-card with a QR frame, beautiful QR frame on the workwear. Belt and braces, we also connect it with laundry grade NFC. Okay, so NFC is near field communications, exactly the same technology you use when you're purchasing food in the supermarket. Not only that, I'm just going to change my background just for a second, because the inspiration for what I'm going to talk about now comes from this gentleman here, Andrew Middleton. I went to Cannington College with him back in the late 70s, early 80s. And unfortunately, he died in a farm accident in Australia a few years ago. So he was our inspiration for in case of emergency. So every single garment has got in case of emergency created for the person who's wearing it. Okay, so it could be for grandchildren on the farm. It could be, in fact, we've got a family pack. The idea is that a grandparent can purchase clothing for their children at Christmas, and every child's got their own in case of emergency in there. So that's the child's name, their age, their allergies, blood group, anything that's important. So not only on the farm, but when they go to school, etc. as well. So that's in charge. The in case of emergency, that can be arranged so that only the parents can update the details in there. So in case of emergency, comes alongside e-card. I'll just go back to my e-card. You might want to scan this. It's pretty cool. Use your imagination, because you can imagine this is an e-card for a farm. Maybe they've got a farm shop. Maybe they've got promotional stuff. Maybe they are focused on sharing information to on-farm visits. Bloody. It's just what it can do is just it's never ending, and it obviously, like I said, it can be changed. But the core technologies in here are groundbreaking. One is V-card technology, which has been around for 38 years. QR has been around for 38 years, but like I've always said, it's not the QR, it's not the e-card necessarily, it's how it's put together. And the important thing about this, scan this, you can add my contact details to your phone in 1 second. That's pretty cool. And you can also add your details to my CRM. So this is the data management tool as much as it is for anything. And the reasoning behind this, the only device that this connects to is a smartphone. Agree? And for every smartphone, let's put it the other way around, for every PC, there are 6 smartphones in circulation. That's why you don't see anybody carrying a PC across the farmyard. It's just the logic is here to connect to the phone user. So every phone is connected to a phone user. So the idea of this is that through classified ads, we can roll this out with Farmers Weekly. The way that it works is salespeople do the selling bit. It gets the information is then relayed to Larry's VA. They create the e-card for the farmer. They do all the branding. They make it look beautiful, and then they transfer the files from preprint to postprint. It's the preprint service, and then that information block is forwarded to a guaranteed printer, a printer who's actually been qualified in our processes to handle the technology. So yeah, it's a three-part process. We'd love the Farmers Weekly to be involved. The idea of this is that for the very first time we work alongside somebody like yourselves in a major publication and get your brand onto that digital workwear on the farm alongside all the cleverness that goes with it. So lovely to talk to you. Dominic, I've been talking to Dominic in Classified. He's got a very clear understanding of this, a very sharp young man, I'd like to say. So anything you need to know about this technology, etc., he can explain that to you. Or if you want to call with me anytime, there's a booking link on there. Scan it, book a time with me, and I'll talk to you. Lovely to speak to you, and thank you for listening. Bye for now.